Today, I'm in Chino Valley, Arizona, spending the day with Buenos Banos. In just over a year, they've scaled to over 100 toilets on rent, and in that time, they've been featured in the Prescott Times, the Pumper Podcast, and Pro Magazine. We're gonna spend the day with Kayce, and she's gonna tell us a little bit about their operation and how they've scaled to this point. Let's go.
Thanks. Hi, my name is Kayce Peters, and I am the owner and operator of Buenos Banos LLC. We're a portable restroom company here in northern Arizona. And my main position, I would say, is just like jack of all trades. Like, I still do all my own books. I do all the invoicing. I take all the phone calls, but then I still also am out in the field running routes, delivering toilets, just everything that has to do with like portable restrooms, offloading the trucks, stuff like that. I still pretty much do all of it. Why porta potties? Porta potties, like for me personally, the only reason why I decided to get into them is because at a football game, I had to take one of my kids to go to the bathroom, and the porta potties were terrible. They were horrible. I didn't want to take my kid in there. I didn't want to go in there. And I brought it up to my husband, and he's like,
"Well, do you think you could do any better?"
Just joking around, you know, and I said, I bet I could, and it just kind of snowballed from there. And I think we just got hooked up with like the right people at the right time in the right area. And I decided that I was going to prove to everybody here that I could keep a clean, sanitary porta potty. And that's exactly what we do here at Buenos Banos. Like, we service our units weekly, rain or shine. We always make sure they're stocked. We always make sure that they are clean and sanitary. And I clean a porta potty to a standard where I would feel comfortable letting my kids use the toilet. So that's my standard. When we first started out, it was around like October of 2023, and we had just gotten the idea to like start up a portable restroom company just because it's a small town in a small area, and we just saw a need for it. And we'd experienced some of the other restrooms around town, and they were just subpar. We bought a slide-in tank. I want to say we bought it in October of 2023. It was delivered November 2023. And we also bought 7 orange globals from Satellite and drove to Fresno to get them, which we will never do again. They need to come assembled. Thanks, Titan. And then come January 2nd, 2024 is when we put a few toilets on ground. So we had 7 toilets, 1 truck, January 2024. Fast forward to right now, present day, we have a new service truck, same tank, newer truck, and then 2 additional service trucks that are almost ready to go on the road. And I think our current count is, I think it's 142 toilets the last time I counted. Not all are on the ground, but some we keep specifically for events. And then we just kind of like rotate out like the construction type units.
Now can we go check out the yard?
Yeah, let's go.
And you guys just recently moved here, right?
We did, probably about a month ago now.
Okay, and where was everything stored before?
So we actually still have that place. It's a little storage unit we pay for. It's maybe about 2 or 3 miles from here, and currently it only holds 20 toilets. So
okay. I think a lot of times people underestimate how much space porta potties take up. Right, if they're all rented out, it's totally fine. But when they start to come back, each one takes up a 4-foot by 4-foot grid. So you need a decent amount of space to store everything.
So we knew they weren't all gonna fit. So we just kind of left our event units over there. So there's about, I think there's 13 event units there, 1 ADA and a couple sinks. And then everything else, we moved over here. We got our new shipment of toilets over here, and then a few stragglers.
I see you went with the global and orange. Can you tell me a little bit about why you guys chose that model and color?
Yeah, there is a method to my madness. When we were originally like looking to get into this business, we noticed that a lot of the darker colors fade like super quickly.
Okay, especially in the Arizona sun,
in the
I'm
hot
sure.
sun.
Yeah.
And my husband, being that he has a mining background, like safety is like #1 above all, everything. We need something that people are gonna see, something with high visibility, and something that may hold up better to the intense conditions. So we went with the orange globals from Satellite.
And I see you went with the graded floor as well.
Yes, we did. Maximum airflow. It gets super hot here.
Yeah.
And I mean, I've had some customers be like, well, what if a snake climbs up? And I'm like, okay, well, what if it does? You know? But I just feel like it allows more airflow and ventilation in such a hot climate.
Good reasoning.
Yeah. And I think it looks neater. Like, if somebody pees on the floor, you can't tell.
Goes right through.
Right?
Yeah, it drains really well.
Yeah.
And then you mentioned right when you first bought your toilets, you picked them up unassembled. Can you tell me about the struggle? Because I've always talked about buying them assembled. Let's hear from somebody else.
So yeah, we're like, oh yeah, we don't want to pay the extra money to have them assembled. We're gonna go get them. So we took our old service truck at the time, which is an 05 F350 dually, and my husband has a gooseneck. So took the gooseneck. We took 2 of the 6 kids. I think one was 8 or 9 at the time, and the other one was like 4 maybe. Oh gosh. Here to Fresno, we're like, okay, it's only supposed to take like 8-9 hours. No, 12 hours later, finally get there. They load us up, and then coming home, it was just grueling. It was horrible. I mean, it probably took, I'd say, over 10 hours coming home, and we made the decision. When we got home, we're like, oh, we're gonna put one of these babies together. It should only take 40 minutes. 3 hours later, after the horrible drive there, yelling at each other, screaming at each other, barely got one together in 3 hours.
Then you get home and you still have to build them.
Yeah, so we were like, okay, well that makes that a super easy decision. We will never buy them unassembled again. The ADA that we bought, we got a full load of toilets, and they're like, well, we can slip ADA pieces next to them. And I'm like, all right, let's do it.
Because that takes up the space of 4 toilets if it's built, so that makes total sense.
So they stuck everything in one of the units and then just kind of inched the little panels in everywhere, so that's fine, but assembled is definitely the way to go.
Works out.
Yeah.
Moral of the story, pay for shipping and buy them assembled. If you've liked this video so far, don't forget to like and subscribe, and also leave a comment down below if you have a question you'd like answered in a future video with another operator. As for me, I always like to get advice from operators that they would give to new people just getting into the business. Let's see what Kayce thinks.
Keep going. Follow your dreams. Like, don't give up. When it gets hard, that's just letting you know that it's working out, and just keep going.
And then let's talk about your customer profile / split. What would you say the percentage of your rentals are construction versus event?
Oh my gosh, I would say, honestly, like 95% construction.
Yeah.
Maybe more. Honestly, like we do have, I did get the contract with the Prescott Chamber of Commerce, so they do a lot of events on like the Courthouse Square or Whiskey Row, like if you're familiar with that kind of,
I think what's not talked about sometimes is how much manpower or woman power it takes to do events, right? Because you need somebody to deliver them, you need them to be pumped, and then you need to pick them up, and they need to be on the days that the customer needs them to be, right? Like you can't build it onto your route.
No, and like this, thing that we have to kind of skate around when we have our toilets downtown, it's at the actual courthouse. So they're on the phone with us, we're staged like right by the courthouse, and we have to like move. As soon as the last like judge leaves the courthouse, that's when we have to go in, because they won't let anybody else set up until our toilets are down. So it could be 5:15, it could be 6:02. Like we have to be down there like ready to go.
Right.
And we cannot pump like as the events are going on. So we either have to pump super late at night after everybody has gone home or like, closed down their tents or whatever, or we have to go super early in the morning. And I'm definitely a night girl, so I pump it at like 9-10 o'clock at night.
Okay, there you go. There you go. And that's why you got to charge extra.
Yeah.
Is it okay if we go take a look at your fleet?
Yeah, let's go. I am fortunate enough, my husband is a mechanic, so anytime like I need my truck's fleet worked on, he works on them. That's a very big positive point for Buenos, because if he wasn't the mechanic that he is, I don't think I could do this business having to like take trucks to the shop, this and that. So if you have a mechanic for a husband or you are a mechanic, I think this business would definitely work out good for you because you'll always have somebody in-house to fix your stuff.
So this truck, is it the first one that you started the business with?
No, it is the first tank we started it with, but not the first truck.
Okay, and from the looks of it, it's a slide-in, yeah?
It is, yeah, I got it from the sliding queen. We used to run an 05 F350. Had the flatbed on it already, got the forklift, got the slide-in tank, had that set up for a little bit, like a year and a half maybe, and just kept blowing leaf springs, like 2 leaf springs in the matter of 2 months. Just figured it was just a little bit too heavy.
Yeah, right. This is a big tank for a 350.
Yeah.
Because what size is this sliding tank? What's the split?
This is a 600 total. It's a 400 waste and 200 fresh.
Okay. And how many toilets can you service before it gets full?
Good question. I did the math, and it says that I can fit like 50 or 60 toilets, but I think my math was off. So I would say probably like 40, 45, 50, just depending on how much is in the actual tanks. If we have a day where some of the toilets have hardly anything in them, it's more. But we can usually get Saturday and Sundays routes ran, and then maybe a couple stragglers on Monday before having to offload.
As a porta potty company, one of the biggest challenges, like you mentioned earlier, is always fleet.
Yeah.
Right? We run the trucks every day with a lot of weight on them, and we always have to deal with fleet problems. So you having your husband as a diesel mechanic must be a huge help.
It is a huge help. I will say it, till the day I die. Not having a husband as a mechanic, I could not have this business. Because I can't wait for my truck to be at a shop for 1-2 weeks, because if my truck's not running, I'm not running.
Exactly. So, do you guys have any backup plan, or what does that look like?
Yeah, we do. So currently we have an Isuzu NRR, an 07 that we have. He's almost done rebuilding the pump on it. It does have water capabilities, and it does have like delivery capabilities with the lift gate. So we do a lot of delivering with that. Once that pump is done, then I'll have 2 trucks going at the same time. And then we do have I think it's an 07 F550. That will be a backup for the backup eventually.
Yeah, which you always need.
Yeah.
And as a small growing company, that's always a luxury to have an extra truck, because you can't always have one. As you're scaling, right, whether it's financially or whether because you need to use it, it's not always something that you can have, so.
Right, and I mean, there's been times where we've had to deliver toilets in personal vehicles, and I have big water jugs in my storage, and I've delivered them in my Excursion, my dad's delivered them in his truck. Just try to adapt and overcome and
whatever it
meet
takes
the
sometimes,
needs,
right?
I mean, it looks kind of funny, but a car full of kids with a porta potty on the back, you do what you gotta do.
Exactly. Yeah. And then is there anything that you guys do to keep your trucks on the road and in good shape?
Oh yeah, we do oil changes every 3,000 to 5,000 miles. Like, he puts stickers in the windows to make sure.
Preventive maintenance is huge.
Yes, very huge. We like to implement like clean out your truck once a week. So I personally don't like to get into a truck that's trashed, and my husband's even worse than I am. So we make sure that when these guys are running the trucks, that everything's stocked back up for the next person. Like if they're not going out next, or chemicals are topped off, we always like to make sure that there's, fuel in the pump truck part. There's diesel in this truck. Just preventative maintenance for sure.
Keeping on top of it.
And organization. And sometimes organization's hard for me, but the more organized my truck is, the better I run.
Is it okay if I go out with one of your drivers and clean some toilets?
Yeah, knock yourself out.
And by the way, do you have any company gear I could wear so I could represent on the job site?
Yeah, here you go.
Perfect.
You're gonna go.
Look at that.
You're gonna take my truck for a spin. All right.
My name is Hannah. I've been with Buenos Banos for about 3 months, and I'm a route driver.
All right, Hannah, where are we headed right now?
We are headed to Prescott Dirt.
Okay, how many toilets do you guys have there?
We have 4 toilets and 1 sink.
And then how many toilets do you usually clean in a day, like on your route?
Actually, I always forget to count, but I think between 15 and 25.
All right, we just got to the first job site, And there's a lot of different ways you can clean toilets. There isn't one right way, but we're gonna get shown how Buenos Banos does it.
And my name's Rick Beauchene. Asked me if I was interested in doing this. I said, sure, why not? So I tried it. It wasn't bad. We've been doing it ever since. I take the grandson with me on weekends, and we go out, we get her done, you know? I would have to say the hardest part is the weekly change of units. We get people to get a unit, they have it for 2 days, we gotta go pick it back up, bring it. So then 2 days later, we gotta go bring it to a different place. And, you know, there's a lot of delivery of units that change weekly, and just trying to remember them all. We put it all on paper, it's all on computer, and we get her done. So I open them up, check what they need for toilet paper. In a case like today, there's one needed. Now we're gonna fire up the Massport. That's the machine that does all the work. Okay, so in a case like now, you'll set the wand in the tank, fire up the wand. Just a big straw sucking it all out. Then we grab these JJ Truex packets, stick one in each unit. Then we'll grab 5 gallons of water. We fill up the 5-gallon pail and give them each 5 gallons of water. Disinfect them, and it's pretty simple. It just takes a while. Doing this job, a lot of people have a question, well, what do you do when you get it on you? Well, that's a rare occasion, because if you're doing it by putting the wand in the tank, there should be no reason you're wearing it. So it's not the dirty job people think it is. You know, it's not a bad job at all. You take the 5 gallons of water. All right, put that in there. Get another one going for the other tank, and while that's filling, rinse down this other one, down, get them all ready for the next guy.
All right, so we're done with these 2 toilets. Let's get a little inspection, check his work. Nice and clean. It's a good service. Your route schedule compared to a lot of other companies, they might think that it's a little bit different. Can you tell me a little bit about the days that you run your routes?
So we like to run our routes on weekends and then the very beginning of the week. And our reasoning for that is when the routes are run on the weekends, we deal with a lot of construction sites, and some of the sites have multiple toilets on site in different spots. And when we do these bigger developments with, you know, more toilets on the sites, when we do them on weekends, it's quieter, it's less hectic, there's less people on site, so we can get in, get out, and then that makes it to where their toilets are fresh, you know, come Monday morning when they are back on site. And then for Hannah's routes, we have them set up Mondays and Tuesdays. Her route's a little bit more spread out, so we don't generally run into a lot of people on the sites, but since we are just pumping off of one truck right now, it's already taken up over the full weekend, so she takes it then Mondays, Tuesdays. Once our Isuzu is, you know, the pump's back installed, right now we can use it to deliver, but once the pump is installed and done, then she can pretty much set her routes up however she wants. If she wants to go out on the weekends, great. If not, she can keep them to Mondays and Tuesdays, and that will just sort of free up, like, we won't have to be playing like catch up with the truck since we're only pumping off of one truck right now.
And in this business, everyone always talks service, service, service. What does that mean to the Buenos Banos team? I asked them, and let's see what they say.
Keeping these things clean. She wants them clean. She wants all of them clean, not just 1 or 2. So we keep them all clean the way we tell people we do.
And I think the biggest important thing to people is if they want to sit there and chat with you, sit there and chat. That's the best customer service you can have. I mean, it's important to feel heard and have an understanding of what they're talking about. And if you don't know, ask questions, because then you're actually listening.
welcome back to the yard. After a fun day with you guys, is it okay if I give some unsolicited advice?
Give away.
So, number one advice that I have for Buenos Banos, I would put logos on all 4 sides of the toilets. I'm always a big fan of doing that.
Okay.
With your phone number, because it's kind of like a billboard for the company.
Okay.
And you have clean toilets, they're easy to see.
Noted.
Second, you guys have a fantastic company culture, and I would just challenge you to keep it the same as you continue to grow. Because eventually you're gonna have to hire people that aren't your family, they're not
Right.
your friends.
Yeah.
You can't trust them 100% from the start.
Yeah.
But if you bring them into your culture, show them that you care about them, you care about the work, I don't think you'll have any trouble scaling in that way.
Okay.
And then last thing is about your routes. I noticed that they are on paper. I think that you're almost at that point where you need to find a way to, whether it's the software, whether it's whatever it is, I think that'll save you a lot of time, makes stuff easier for your drivers. You guys
Okay.
have had some amazing growth in the past year and a half,
Yeah.
and I can't wait to see what's next for Buenos Banos.
Looking forward, I would like Buenos to just kind of blow up and be all over the northern part of Arizona. And when I say northern part, I mean mid-Arizona, like where we're at, like Prescott Valley area, all the way up, like up into Flagstaff, up into Sligman, Kingman, like a lot of these places I get calls for, but it's just too far for us right now. But eventually I'd like to have like different hubs in places and like different people running different hubs in different northern type towns and just sort of be all over providing great service and like meeting the needs in the more desolate areas that can't generally get a decent portable company to go out there. I don't want to do anything southern wise just because it's too hot for me personally. So I would say I'm dreaming big for sure, but hopefully I can achieve what I have set out to do with this company.
And that wraps it up for today's video. I hope you enjoyed our first company spotlight. I want to give a huge shout out to Kayce and the Buenos Banos team for letting me ride along with them for the day and give us a behind the scenes look of how their business functions. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all next time.